My name is Brit Hansen. So I went to college for fine art. After college, I worked as a photographer. So I worked as a destination wedding photographer for about 8 to 10 years. And after doing that, I had kids. And while I was on bed rest with my daughter, I got back into painting and carving. And carving was my true love. I love doing block printing. But before having my kids, I didn't really feel like I had a voice of what I wanted to create. And then being on bed rest and not being able to do anything else, I found what I wanted to make. And then I never turned back. I just wanted to carve all the time. So I worked as a block printer for about 5 years, doing shows, and realized that I loved the carving part, but not so much the printing part. They're two very different processes. So I experimented with carving everything, wax and wood and clay, and it got me thinking, I wonder if I could carve paint. The color would already be there, paint is super durable. So I experimented for a couple years and got it to work. So I grew up in a very artistic family. My dad is a jeweler. My mom does stained glass. My grandma is a painter. My great-grandma is a ceramicist. So I am a 4th generation artist. I didn't really consider myself very artistic growing up. I think because it was a lot of, everyone was so artistic. I didn't know really where I fit in, what medium I loved until I was a little older. Well, I love nature, and I think the thing that draws me most, people come in and see my work and they see all the flowers and I just love flowers, but animals too, my horses and everything, but what really gets me is things that thrive in the desert, this really, really harsh environment, and the beauty that comes out and thrives in it, even though it's so harsh. So once I started experimenting with carving paint, there was it's a very scientific process. I had to, discover what paint worked and all of the layers. And so what I do is I start with a wood panel and I build the acrylic paint really thick. Pieces will get up to a couple gallons of acrylic on it. I use high quality artist acrylic, and I build it up over several weeks until it's thick enough and totally dry so that I can carve it with wood carving tools. The most I had ever created as far as how many layers I would add into a piece would be about 100. So up to 12 colors, but 100 coats of paint. So now I don't count as often. I just feel it out. I know how much paint and how much thickness and weight really needs to be on a panel for it to be ready. And so now I go more off of how many quarts it needs, or, but typically maybe 40 to 80 coats is very common. Yeah, so I have to plan it all out before. I have to do a full sketch first. So I sketch out the piece, plan out my colors, and then I spend a lot of time just staring at the sketch and figuring out, okay, I love this. I love, the design of it. Now, how can I really make it come to life? Because it's creating a sculpture in paint, and it's a relief. So if I layer the colors different, it's going to look completely different. So I have to think about what colors I'm going to use, what order they're going to go in, and what thickness each color needs to be to get the texture that I want it to have. Because each piece, I use a different texture depending on how I want to depict the subject. So this is my 2nd year at Celebration of Fine Art, and this is a huge career goal being here. Not only do they bring in amazing collectors to view my work, but also being here as part of this community. The other artists are amazing. It's like a family. I get to live in this small artist town for the 10 weeks, and the creativity is just unmatched. Getting to be inspired by the other artists around me, getting to have feedback on the work that I'm putting on the walls right away, and having people come in and see me working, and it really, they connect with the work so much faster, getting to see how it's actually created. So if you aren't at Celebration of Fine Art, can't make it here, I also have a website, and or you can contact Celebration of Fine Art, but my website's brithansen.art. And you can also find me at brithansen.art on Instagram.